Welcome to Pipebomb Radio, featuring your hosts, Darnell the Playmaker Salines, Alex Aldape, Melissa Mitro, Chris Rex, and Ricky Litwinkowicz. Welcome, everybody, to a very, very special edition of Pipebomb Radio, doing the Super Bowl 55 preview here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and Spreaker.com, to be aired later on SoundMachine.fm. Starting off our show today, who's going to be our lead man, and I say lead only because he can, Mr. Darnell, the Playmaker Salines, who's never on camera.
Yes, I'm not never on camera. But what's up, everybody? You know, me and Ricky, back at it again. Known for these Saturday specials. But not to be alone. Another one of the family. Fair man, Alazakazar. Talk to the people.
What's going on, everybody?
Well, you got to introduce the rest of the crew, by the way.
Yeah, so we got more people that coming in so far. But let's get to the people that we have in the room so far. All the way from Brooklyn, New York, my man, the host of Sports Radio with Dre, talk to the people.
What's going on? It's episode time.
And the man who's behind the carousel, the man who's done a whole lot of interviews, the man that's just on the road doing great things down in the South Florida area, Mr. Alex Fleming. Talk to the people.
I'm just a sports prostitute. If you want to book a rate, you got to let me know. But yeah, I might find some time for you.
And we have some more people that just joined us. One of my good friends, I got to be on his radio show a couple of times talking some hoops with him. Snowman in the morning, Brian Snowman Snow, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me. And Alex, I think I may have you kick off my show a lot more. A lot of people love the interaction, to a point where a suggestion was made. I'll let you know about that later. But it's good to be with you guys. It's good to be with y'all on a Saturday afternoon where I don't have to work.
Yeah, I did, unfortunately, but I'm here on time.
The only thing I will say about this is this, okay? Let's have some fun. Let's talk some football. And a lot of people don't know, when we are doing these types of shows, we do not hold back.
Oh,
so
good.
If you get angry or you got something to say,
listen.
Let the people hear it, baby.
Oh, hell.
All right, I got one more person to introduce.
Okay.
I got one person to introduce. If you look at the bottom of the screen, just joining us, Phil Jones. What's going on?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
What's up, Dr. Phil? How's it going?
Just helping crazy people say, catch me outside.
Well, look at that. We got Dr. Dre and Dr. Phil.
I got one for the folks at the Pipebomb Studios. I never hold back on my show. I'm on the air 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. And I should let y'all know, my favorite comedian was George Carlin, if that tells you anything.
That we are definitely cut from the same cloth. And to quote Mr. Carlin, these are the things I think about when the power goes out.
Yep.
All right. So
the thing that got me started on Carlin before we get going, get on the plane, get on the plane. Fuck you, I'm getting in the plane.
You're damn right. Damn right on that one.
Before we actually get started.
I love that background, man.
Oh yeah,
all right. Let's go. Let's roll.
That's all Ricky. That's what Ricky does.
I am the king of green screen, baby. That's all I gotta say.
You got that one. But before we get started,
I know shit together.
I know each one of you guys, y'all do special things within the sports world. So starting with Dre, let the people know what you do
Sports Way with Dre Day podcast, the Hood's ESPN, Crystal Street's Golden Boy. I basically speak on the NBA, WNBA, MLB, NFL. Sometimes I throw a little tennis in there. Sometimes I do a little WWE, and that's pretty much it. And I have my own little Hood's ESPN Jeopardy installment that I do once a month. So I'll be doing that March 6th. So if y'all not busy, tune in to Facebook Live so y'all get to see it. Basically paying homage to Alex Trebek, but I'm doing it my way. I'm doing it the Hood's ESPN version.
I need to tune in for two reasons. One, homage to Alex Trebek, and two, you said March 6th. My daughter passed away in 2015, and her birthday was March 6th. So I gotta honor her.
I gotta honor her. My condolences.
My condolences.
That pretty girl's smile, which y'all will see a lot, especially starting March, is always with me. That she's one of the reasons, outside of my wife, that I keep going.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. Going for Big Birdie.
Let's go.
Matter of fact, Snowman, go ahead and talk to the people about your show.
Oh, man. Snowman in the Morning is a 4-hour journey into the sports world where I don't hold back. The hottest, the hot takes, and the coldest, cold hard facts. You can find me on Facebook Live beginning a week from Monday. Still got some things to get together, but you can also search WSDMDB and also SDM Sports Radio, which is where the show is heard. But as I said, week from Monday, you're going to see this pretty face, and I have a background in mind, which is my new logo for our radio station. So that's me, Snowman in the Morning, 8 a.m. Eastern to noon, 5 days a week.
Good stuff coming. Phil Jones, what you got going on in the sports world you want to talk to the people about?
You know me. I got a show called The Unfiltered Truth with my co-host Phil Robinson III. Come on either Monday nights or Friday nights. Deliver you guys the truth about what's going on behind the Raiders. If it's the Washington football team, the Ravens, basketball, any entertainment that's going on. I know everybody's huge Marvel fans, so I'll talk to you guys on that good stuff. Really, anything new coming up, I jump on it.
Well,
Sports
Phil, you
world,
gotta say it right.
I jump on it like a shark.
You gotta say it right, Phil. Not the Washington football team. I'm old school. It's the Washington Redskins. Period. And I'm saying it from a sports standpoint only. And I'll open the hot takes. This social justice shit is pissing me off.
But by the way,
leave it on the floor right there.
You're not the only one that kind of messes around with team names, because I still call the Chargers the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah. I think we all do that.
Yeah,
I should bust out that song one day on my show next week.
Some people still call the Rays the Devil Rays.
I have to now. Since I'm told not to do that, I got to find that San Diego Superchargers song and play it on my show to open it one day.
All right, so we have another gentleman that has joined our crew.
Oh, really?
Darnell, do your deal.
So another one who was part of the carousel with me, Phil, and Alex. John, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, what's going on? It says Journey with the J's at the bottom, but we're now called Sideline Sports. Podcast. Do you want me to explain who I am, what I do?
Go for it.
All right. Podcaster since 2015. No degree, started from scratch, knew nothing. Clawed my way to, awards, won a bunch of awards from the Baltimore Sun, booked guests, players from the Baltimore Orioles, obtained media credentials myself for the Orioles, and around here in Pennsylvania, the Hershey Bears, eventually NFL credentials, Super Bowl credentials for this week, and a laundry list of famous people, like writers and people from The Simpsons and athletes, Hall of Famers, you name it. I'm a Dolphins fan. I got Ronnie Brown on my show a couple years ago. that was an honor, because I'm, love the Dolphins. So, I mean, I've had like everybody and anybody. Lou Holtz, met him in person, had him on my show, so like everybody and anybody. So I've done it all, and it's pretty cool covering the Super Bowl. So I love this
I
stuff,
need
man.
to hang out. See, I need to bring you on more often, John, because unfortunately I've only had you on once. And I say unfortunately because some things and some people got in the way, something I'm about to change. That's why I'm waiting a week before I do video and things like that. But John, I'm going to grovel for your services one day. For
Hey,
a
man.
lot of them.
Hey, I'm always open to being on other shows and stuff, and appearing and things like that, as long as I have the time. I have 2 kids and stuff, so it could be hard. But
Understood.
I was trying to carve out time for it.
I have children as well as grandchildren, so I completely understand.
Yeah.
So that brings me to Alex Fleming. You do a lot of stuff, man. So you just pick where you want to start at.
Ooh-wee. Well, since you put it that way, hi, I'm Alex Fleming. I'm like Fred VanVleet, I bet on myself. Fantasy and flavors is how I started. Rest in peace, Paul Hollywood Edwards. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I covered the Orlando Magic, the Toronto Raptors. I'm a reporter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I write for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I also do a little bit of critiquing as well on the side. I'm here in Tampa right now. I have Super Bowl credentials. I'm a guest on Snowman in the Morning, Chris Pirtle's Sports Junkies, Mark Moses' show, 1560 The Fan, Skull King Sports with Ryan Skullroot and Scott Morganroth. I'm the developer and co-producer of the NFL Carousel. I'm the creative genius behind the NBA Carousel, but that baby now belongs to JB Ellis and Megan Price. You can catch some of my new material on 806 Sports. And like I said, I'm just a sports prostitute, and I'm not cheap. My rate has went to $50 an hour now. No more $39.95 with the coupon.
Hey, and we only add $11. Who gave you that
Because
information?
I'll answer that question, Pipe Bomb, because I'm adding it to my rates also. Because there's a couple people that say they want to advertise. All right, prove it. That's how I feel.
Oh, guys, I forgot. I was just on Chat and Spin Radio, a UK radio station with 700,000 followers. So
Nice.
Yeah, I suck.
As long as you don't swallow, you're good. That's another call-inism. Just
Well,
remember
since
that.
everybody is really going to tell everybody what we're all about, please, gentlemen, allow me, the Bear of Texas, to kind of tell you what I do in the sports industry, because I'm unique, y'all. I run the Bear of Texas podcast, and I have 3 shows. Number 1 is Cowboys Talk, a Dallas Cowboys discussion segment. Number 2 is Into the Net FC. Well, you know what? If you think what I just said is surprising, you just wait till I explain Cowboys Talk, because you're going to be shocked. So as number 2 is Into the Net FC. It's just a soccer talk discussion. I love soccer. Soccer is my main sport out of all of them. I was born in Europe, so it's in the blood, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is just, for a hobby, as part of paying the dues, it's hard to be stress-free. And I decided to add a show to add video games just to have fun and, just to build my empire, gain more followers, and really just have fun. So it's called Rage Quit. Believe it or not, coming up with the name was difficult at first, but I figured, you know what? Since I take video games so seriously, I might as well just go with the term. Like, might as well just pull up the index and say video game terms, and that's how I came up with it. But allow me to dig deeper into Cowboys talk, because, yeah, I do talk about the Cowboys. But unlike most stations, I do not show any mercy, gentlemen. If there is criticism to be unleashed, God damn it, forgive the language, but I got to do it, I unleash it. If you guys want to know something, I got a death threat once because I said that Dak Prescott is overrated and is undeserving of $40 million a year, and I stick to my guns. I still say it. He is not a good quarterback.
Why are we talking about the Cowboys?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like Alex already. Hey, look, I like Alex already. But I like Mr. Fleming's question. Why are we talking about the Cowboys?
This is
when
not
they don't deserve to be talked about.
This is not undisputed. We are not going to be polluted. We are not going to be punished talking about the Cowboys. We are not first.
Let's not.
We're not doing it.
You see the teams up here? You see the
Not
teams
doing
up
it.
here? Do you
I
see
never
the teams
talked
up here?
about
Yeah, I see
Neither
them.
of them are Cowboys.
Tampa and the
Tell the truth
Chiefs.
about the
That's
Cowboys.
all we should be speaking about.
All right. So,
Yep.
But to give Dallas credit, his first season doing Cowboys Talk and the amount of downloads that he got in his first season, remarkable.
Hey,
Over 40,000 downloads on your first
Love it.
season
My
ever doing
man Alex,
Cowboys
man.
Talk.
Salute to him for that. Yes.
hey, that's my goal for the remainder of this season. And season 8 for me starts in October. And now that I'm finally getting the hang of this shit, I will call on anyone that can help influence it. Alex Fleming has been phenomenal when he comes on with me. Oh man, I'm
I suck. I don't know
enjoying
what you're
being
talking
on
about.
with you guys. This
I
makes
suck.
it fun for me.
all right.
Yeah.
So,
For
Oh
real.
shit.
Y'all
Bullshit.
know me and Ricky, Flashback Fridays. We did our show yesterday. You know me, I do Rambly Talk, I do Hoops Talk and stuff like that. But we here to talk about the big game that is tomorrow, the Super Bowl.
wait.
What?
Hold up here. Everybody else got to announce themselves and give a little bit about what they do. What the fuck about me? I got fucking like 10 words in.
Well, look, Pipebomb, we know
Listen,
what you
don't
do.
make
The
me
name-
go.
Listen,
Ricky.
Pipebomb, the name says it. The name says it alone. We already know what you do, and it's basically what we do. We tell the truth about what's going on. And besides, I want to guess correctly. That New York accent tells us everything we need to know. Am
Not
I
really.
correct on the accent or the?
The accent is correct because it is a Brooklyn, New York accent.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, you got
Brooklyn,
two.
Brooklyn,
Oh, yeah,
nice.
In
Yeah.
the
Okay.
BK, baby.
You got two
Okay.
Brooklyn motherfuckers on here today.
Oh yeah. So,
Dre,
so for
Dre,
those of
I have yet to pick on you because I just met you. I think we talked on Facebook a couple times. I have yet to pick on you, but I'm going to pick on you before I get out of here today.
You gonna pick on me?
So,
Nets
I'm
aren't
okay.
going to the
Talking about it,
finals.
all right, Ricky, go ahead.
I get
and-
picked on all the time, and I
Go-
really don't care.
All right, Ricky, go ahead and tell them about
Go ahead,
Pipebomb.
Ricky.
the whole producer of this show is me wearing the orange and the fucking Patriots hat on.
You're
Just
from
like
Brooklyn. You
I-
wearing a Patriots hat?
Listen,
Yeah.
when you have family that gets you 50-yard line seats and box seats up in Foxborough, you are definitely not turning that down. Plus, I can't root for two teams that don't actually play in the state. That's just saying though, okay? AKA, you know,
But
the
There's
Giants.
always Buffalo. There's always Buffalo.
I have that argument. It never happens. Anyway, Pipebomb Radio actually is not even a year old. Letting everybody know this. Actually, it was a sports show. There are people in this chat that know what happened. I walked away and decided to do my own thing, so therefore this was born. I have only been doing producing and shows since the end of 2016, 2017. And I'm not sure who said what because I was busy sharing the show out. But I've been along that line. I don't have credentials, however, but I do have the ultimate creative mind that built this entire show. Mind you, this all was put together within an hour. So if you guys get the chance to see it and you want to make comments, like the page, after today's show, this will be officially Pipebomb Radio Sports. The arch rival brand kind of died because my co-host took a dump. And if they're listening, well, you know exactly what happened, but that's besides the point. But we are here today all together as a large sports family talking about Super Bowl 55.
55.
And it's
I'm
Tampa versus
old.
KC. So, Darnell, take the lead, bruh.
All right, so first up, I'm going to pass it over to Bearman of Texas. He's going to give us a review of how the Kansas City Chiefs got to this point.
Number one, a 14-2 record, which is a franchise record, appearing in their second consecutive Super Bowl and fourth Super Bowl all time. Patrick Mahomes is going to attempt to do what Tom Brady did back in 2003, 2004. And as far as the Chiefs go, so far what's interesting, 6 players named in the top 100. Now, first, I got to ask you, gentlemen, do you guys actually tune in to see how the top 100 in the NFL goes, or do you guys not really follow that?
My comment on is this. Now, I follow the NFL on YouTube. I have found when they do their announcing of the top 100 players in the NFL, A, they do a horrible job doing it.
Ding.
Agreed.
B, like, who actually votes on this top 100? Okay.
That's the question there, right there.
I have a better question. Who compiles the list? I have a better question. Who compiles the list to vote on?
See, this is where you look at 32 teams in the NFL with 53-man rosters. So you have well over, I think it's 3,000, 4,000 players in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I can understand your superstars. You have like Brady, you have Mahomes, a lot of the players that are in this game, Prescott or like a Daniel Jones or whatever. My problem with this is that
you say Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
I'm using him as an example. I'm not saying that he's in the
Jones?
top 100.
You said superstar, and you mentioned Danny Jones.
Wait a minute.
Listen, I'm on the spot. I'm doing like a roll here. Okay.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna allow you the latitude of completion. Go ahead.
You wouldn't let me.
My thing is this. There are players that never make the top 100 who belong in the top 100. Okay? This happens every year. It's a cornerback who's got 6 picks, doesn't make the top 100.
Right.
You got a player with 1,000 yards receiving, never makes the top 100.
Yep.
The balance for the top 100 list is never perfect, and I don't believe that it should be writers that give the top 100. I believe the fans should vote on the top 100.
Exactly.
Because they're the ones that spend the money on the merch, spend the money on DirecTV or the NFL Network or anything else.
On the tickets.
They should be the ones voting on it, not the writers.
I agree because we have to be we have to be objective. So yeah, writers, we got to be objective. So really, yeah, it makes sense.
It's not really objective when you have 6 Kansas City Chiefs in the top 100 when only 5 players are even worthy of it. Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill, Jones, Matthew. 6, that's overrated. But you know what? Everybody's sucking the nuts of the Kansas City Chiefs because they're the champions. Can we talk about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got here?
Luck. Pure, unadulterated, infatuated luck. And I kid when I say that. The Buccaneers got their act together. I'm going to say it in a way no one will ever believe that I said it. I'm sorry.
Before you get to the bus, now, Alex and Phil, y'all interviewed some of the Chiefs players. How was their experience talking to some of these Chiefs players as they prepare for the biggest game of the season?
I let Alex go first. Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
By all means, man, bro. The hardest worker right here. Real talk.
Thank you, Phil. Some people don't know. Some people don't know. Well, I started off Monday pissing a lot of people off by asking Travis Kelce how he felt about black women getting choked out by white guys who shaved their head bald and plead not guilty. He felt some type of way and revealed himself as to saying, hey, somebody should be dealt with accordingly. USA Today stole my stuff, but has gotten contact with me. Fox News then ran with the story and stole my stuff and saying USA Today, who misquoted me in the first place, saying, Travis Kelce shows emotion because white guys seem to get away with murder, literally and figuratively, in the NFL. Kelce was a little bit upset, but he answered the question. After that, he spoke to me about Eric Bieniemy and how he is a leader of men, but for some odd reason, people with darker melanin can't get coaching gigs. Unless you're David Culley, the 2014 Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver coach, who couldn't score a damn touchdown for the wide receivers in 2014. Jim Caldwell as well. Raheem Morris. That's not quite culture, but you know what? Raheem Morris can't fight FedEx. I'll leave that at that. You can't fight FedEx. FedEx, Lowe's,
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'm sorry, Home Depot, not Lowe's. Home Depot, FedEx, it just makes sense. Make America great again. I digress. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers got here because they are 11-5 and they are road
Alex,
warriors.
I'm gonna get to the bus. I got you on the bus.
Okay.
I got you on the bus.
Okay, Phil, go for it, Phil.
Talk about some of the Chiefs that you interviewed leading up to this.
Chatted up with Le'Veon Bell. And you get the feeling with Le'Veon Bell after how he carried himself when he was trying to get out of Pittsburgh, and then he went to the Jets. And everybody thinks that he's the scum of the earth, he's a piece of shit and whatever and all that. But you sit there and talk with him, you're like, this guy said I was willing to be on a running back by committee. I'm humbled by this shit, and I feel like this shit is really going to extend my career. And he couldn't help himself. My one-hit wonder-rap career, he got to bring that up. So, he was already hyped. Like, I said, if y'all win, he's like, oh, yeah, I got the rap video ready for it and all that. Probably going to be having Mahomes' brother in the background dancing and shit. But, yeah. But chatted it up with, what's his name? I know I'm
Chris Jones?
Chris Jones, yes, who is kind of funny. He might be my cousin. That's an interesting one. But, you listen to what Chris Jones said, it's all about sitting your butt in the film room, looking to get better. You're not satisfied with what you did one year. It could be like 12, 15 sacks. You're still not satisfied with what you're doing. You want to get better by any means necessary. But I'm ready to jump on those Bucks because I think those Bucks
That's what we finished.
can be the upset.
Allow me
They're
to
ready.
conclude my Chiefs analysis as Darnell requested earlier. If I
ahead.
may, gentlemen, if I
Go
may.
ahead.
Well, honestly, see, I'm glad I brought up the top 100 because Ricky said exactly what I thought. And I guess based on what y'all said, I guess you could say it's rigged. But anyway, I'm gonna cut straight to the point. I mean, the regular season, obviously they won games, so that's how they got to the regular season. They won games and they played effectively to set numerous records. That's what the Chiefs do. Obviously, that's what Patrick Mahomes does. But the playoffs specifically, gentlemen, is I like to say they took advantage. And by that, because when Mahomes went down against the Browns in the divisional playoffs, the Browns had a golden opportunity to win the game, but they didn't. And since they blew those chances away, the Chiefs took advantage.
Outside corner, bro. Outside.
That's what you do. You got to take advantage. If one team has an opportunity, they piss it away. That opportunity goes to you. And by golly, you cannot make the same mistake. The Chiefs did not do that. They simply did the opposite. They took advantage and did the same thing against the Bills. The Bills started off strong, but then apparently, one might say this is an exaggeration, but it seems like it happens a lot. They took the foot a little bit off the gas pedal. And when you do that, you made a lethal mistake. You're freaking doomed by then. Chiefs took advantage and they won. I mean, what can I say? That's the bottom line of the playoffs. You just take advantage. You got your opportunities. You don't waste them. That's a successful taking a full advantage of it. That's how the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, gentlemen. And one might say, Alex, they got there because they're loaded. Okay, you know what? No. Yes, they are loaded. But that's not the reason. Because, and I'm going to ask you guys if you agree with this. We've seen many teams that are loaded with talent, have we not, over the years?
Yeah.
And how many times have we seen them fail?
I bring up
Maybe.
I bring up that supposed all-star Philadelphia Eagles team from a few years back, where they had pretty much they pretty much had almost like a Pro Bowler at every position. And what did they go, like 8-8?
Yeah.
Barely made the
Gentlemen,
playoffs.
I'm going
was
to
out
try
in the
to
first round.
log in through my laptop. I'll be right back. I'm going to try to go in through my laptop. Give me a minute.
Pipe bomb. I'll bring up the greatest show on turf.
Actually, I
Talent
disagree with that.
matters.
I disagree with that. The greatest show on turf, was a loaded team, offensive and defensively. But they actually did play in the Super Bowl, unlike the Philadelphia Eagles team that everybody, as soon as the first 5 Pro Bowl free agents signed with the Eagles, they had already had the Super Bowl trophy with the Eagles name and logo on it. That was a load of crap. I had called that one right down from the beginning. This team's not even making the playoffs.
Really?
I think it's the 2011 Eagles you're referring to. It was in 2011.
Yeah. Hold on, Bearman. Really? You just gonna call me out like that?
But you know what though? I actually admire the Rams for that reason, only because Kurt Warner pretty much just came out of obscurity for that team, and automatically, from beginning to end, made that team an actual historic team. What we're seeing with the Chiefs this year is not like it was last year.
Nope, not at all.
Okay? You do not see the foot on the gas pedal from first minute of the game to the last second of the game. That's for one. Two, I'm not saying this as a bad signing, only because it's for playoff experience. I think this team started to go downhill a little bit once they signed Le'Veon Bell. Because their running game was phenomenal at the beginning of the year, and then it started to drop off once Le'Veon got there. That's one major cog in this Chiefs offense that's not had them put up the amount of points like they did last year. Another thing I want to say about this is everybody makes the strength of schedule thing a big deal. I think that was a load of garbage because you had teams like the Browns come out of nowhere this year. You know, there was a few other teams that we thought were going to be legit Super Bowl contenders, and they shit the bed. So, strength of schedule to me doesn't look
Cowboys.
like. Hey,
Now
exactly.
who's talking about the Cowboys, Dre?
But you see, that's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Like the teams did not lay out properly this year because of what we deem it as the worldwide bastard. Because if you say the C word or the P word, you get demonetized or your shit gets thrown off the air.
Ugh.
But that again, like I think with the issue of the sickness or whatever you want to call it, and then on top of that, the teams of strength of schedule BS. Chiefs did not look the same as they did last year. Some of these games they did skate by because the defense saved their ass.
Hey, since we're unfiltered, let me say it. The Chiefs' schedule was SAWFT soft. They played the
How you
AFC
doing?
West,
Thank
the
you.
NFC South, and a whole bunch of teams that couldn't compete. Did they play Green Bay? No. Did they play a healthy Saints team? No.
No.
Yeah,
Did
they
you
only
play a
had
Tampa Bay
Tyreek
team
Hill
with
go
Jamal
off for
being
200 yards in the first quarter against the
Hey,
Thank
Bucks,
you.
the team they're about to play.
We gonna get to that game, but not right now.
Wait a sec. Hold
I'm
on.
just saying.
Did we say that the AFC West was soft?
No, I said
Because I
the
disagree with
Chiefs-
that.
He said
Yes,
he said they
the
schedule was
Chiefs.
soft.
No.
The
Chiefs
CHEIFS schedule was soft.
Outside of the division. Because the division this year in the AFC West was a lot stronger than it has been
Outside
in
of
seasons past.
I say this outside of the division, it was easy as hell. In the division, no.
Besides the
The
Broncos.
division was soft too.
Besides the
Hold
Broncos.
on. Besides that
The
week
Bron-
ass week 17 game when they said all
I'm
this
not even
stuff.
counting that. I'm not even counting that.
Who-
I'm not
who-
even
no,
And
no,
counting
no,
then
no.
they played Phil's
Who's the
Raiders
only team that beat
twice.
them? Who's the only team that beat them?
Almost
The only
twice
team
the
that
second
beat 'em-
time.
The
The
Raiders.
Raiders are the
Almost
only
the
one that
second.
beat
The
them in the
Raiders.
division.
The Raiders.
Exactly.
We can't talk over each other, gentlemen. Some of us have to let single people speak. The only
So-
team that actually beat them was the Vegas Raiders, and that was a damn shootout. Denver is a joke. The Chargers were choking up more than Vanessa Del Rio. If they won half the games they choked, they would have been in the damn playoffs. And as far as those Raiders are concerned, bro, y'all gave a game away against Miami. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. How
First
you lost
off,
that.
hold up. First off,
And
you know what? I'm the only one that can
Hey,
slander
hey,
my
all right,
own.
hey, we're not gonna get on the Raiders. We're not gonna talk about that.
You a
I'm the
Raiders
only
fan?
one that can slander.
No. Yeah, he's Phil represents the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
All right, we do have another guest joining us.
JP Ellis, tell the people about you and what you do.
Hey.
We're waiting for Marcus to come in here. Okay.
Hey, Joe, where the ladies at? I mean, for real, it's
Right?
fucking
Well,
Hillshire Farms up in here.
in all honesty, the one lady that would come on right now is currently working. That would be my partner in crime, Melissa Mitro, who really has no stake in this game, but she is probably one of the most kick-ass female analysts on the planet. Just letting you know.
Hey,
But she's working.
I I talked to Stacy. I don't know if Stacy hasn't hit me back yet. I told you, she had a family emergency, so she had to back out. That's right.
Not a lady, but you guys are killing me with
we're not talking about Dallas, okay? As long as we're not talking about Dallas, everything's great.
No. Go ahead, JB.
You guys are killing me. The AFC West, besides Kansas City, was pretty soft.
Thank you.
The Chargers, who I covered, blew game after game after game. Denver's offense, I think we could get like 5 more people and have a better offense. The Raiders, if it wasn't for a miracle, they would have lost to the Jets. Nobody lost to the Jets except for I forget who. But I mean,
Cleveland and
the Rams,
Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, it was, so the AFC West is bad. Kansas City's good though, but the other 3 teams, they're up and coming, and you can't compare, the rest of the division.
Soft ass schedule.
All right, while we got somebody else trying to connect it in, let's switch gears over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So,
well, last point I got to make is we'll see if Kansas City can take advantage against Tampa, but Tampa is going to be the ultimate test because, like Mr. Fleming said, the schedule was lenient to say the least, and if they don't get it done tomorrow, it's certainly going to tell a different story. That's all I'm going to say.
Well,
thank you, gentlemen.
We're going to get to that. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as you know, the biggest storyline in the offseason was Tom Brady leaving New England, coming down to Tampa. Everybody was seeing how that goes. Went 11-5. That was a 5th seed in the NFC wild card. Went on the road to Washington football team, defeated them. By the way, as most people that I have talked to said, that was probably the 20 point for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because how competitive that game was. I mean, most people thought that game shouldn't have been competitive. Then they went on to the New Orleans Saints. They exercised their demons and got one back on the Saints, and they got the most important one back on the Saints, 30-20. Drew Brees did not look good. Tom Brady didn't have to do much because his defense rose to the occasion. And then it was the trip to Lambeau Field and against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. In the first half, Tampa Bay was on all cylinders. You couldn't stop them even if you tried. Second half was different, but the defense yet again. This is the time of like I always say, and Alex can tell, I always say defense wins championships, and the Bucs defense made sure that game did not go into Aaron Rodgers' favor.
Hey, but before absolutely anybody here tries to disparage the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are road warriors. They went 9-2 on the road. Stop and think about that. And the first 2 losses of the 9-2 on the road record was early against New Orleans week 1, against Chicago week 5. So get on my level and stop the hate. I'm going to check each and every one of you and try to say something stupid. The
Aren't they at home?
Oh, wait, we can have fun with the loss against Chicago.
They are at home. Yeah, I know they're at home.
Mr. Fleming, I got to ask you, how could I argue against a guy who's just putting up the facts? I can't argue with you because you're telling the truth. You're just like me, telling the truth.
Let me just jump in on this one here, because this is where you can kind of say that there was a little bit more of an advantage with them going to the road than there was being at home. The crowd factor is 1. Okay, that will give any team an advantage whether they're at home or on the road. Okay, look at the cities that they went to and look at the places where they would have had tremendous, and I mean tremendous, background noise from the fans. So this year, with the worldwide bastard again, any team has an advantage whether they have crowd or not. That's where I think Tampa really got an advantage, because the home fans on the road couldn't disrupt any type of play calling. So I'm going to take that road 9-2 record, roll it up, and into the back.
Into the back.
Wow. Totally dismissing Tampa.
Okay. No, I'll be honest with you. And this is one of the things that I can kind of say this year made a tremendous difference, again, for a lot of teams. A place like Kansas City only has, 3,000-4,000 fans in the stands, and it still sounds like a full stadium of fans. Buffalo was a perfect example. 6,700 fans sounded like 67,000 fans. Okay? A lot of the places that teams went couldn't even have 150 people in the building, let alone 1,500, 5,700, 6,700 people. Okay? So I am not going to take, they were great 9-2 on the road with no fans in the stands. I don't find that as a great factor whatsoever.
What about the weather? They did have to go to Green Bay and play in cold weather.
Okay, Tom Brady is like 49 and whatever in cold weather. So you just marked that fact right there. That's the only thing. You had guys who have played in cold weather. Antonio Brown, Pittsburgh. Gronk, New England. How many times has it been below zero there? Tom Brady, the same thing. You brought in players that could play in both cold weather and warm weather. Next.
Wow. Superdome, Saints. They were 0
How many fans?
3.
How many fans were in the Superdome both games? Not even 1,000, because they only had first responders in the building for the whole first regular season game and the playoff game.
So you're
Not half
assuming
the
that
noise.
fans play more of a role than the team who
Exactly.
actually beat them twice in the regular season.
Let's bring up Seattle, for example. The 12th man is the second loudest building in the NFL behind Arrowhead. And how many teams, when you go into either one of those buildings, have issues with play calling, making adjustments, etc.?
I think the story you're missing, though, about this game is the defenses. Both these defenses were overlooked all year. And
Thank you.
If you look at what Kansas City did to Buffalo, which their offense this year, Buffalo was on fire. Kansas City shut them down. Tampa Bay, no one ever talks about their defense. No respect. It's all Tom Brady and all the weapons on offense. And this defense is what won that game. Because, Tom Brady unfortunately had a bad game. He threw how many picks 2 weeks ago in Green Bay? And what won the game for them? That defense stopped Aaron Rodgers time after time.
The defense.
Hey,
won the game.
JB, tag me in. That defense caused about 14 turnovers this season. You know how many they caused in the playoffs? About 7. So to say that the crowd wasn't there and that was a factor, BS. They were being ball hawks, causing turnovers and causing Drew Brees' noodle arm to throw picks. Oh, and about Sharon Rodgers.
Listen,
Yes,
I'm not gonna defend Drew Brees, but did that man have like 6 weeks prior to that or 7 weeks prior to that 11 broken ribs?
He shouldn't have been out there.
Sit your
you're not.
Sit your ass at home.
He shouldn't have been out there.
That's not my choice. That was Sean Payton's choice.
Absolutely.
But you're putting a guy out there 6 or 7 weeks removed from 11 broken ribs.
Then stop making excuses. Play Jameis Winston or that tight end dash quarterback Taysom Hill. Sit your ass at home.
When you get to the divisional round, the playoffs, everybody's banged up to some degree, so you really can't use that excuse. Everybody's been going through the grind all season. Nobody's 100%, even if they say
but
they
you're
are.
not. But
I'm
to me
gonna throw
personally,
myself on the bus here.
I would have said to my coach, "Hey man, you know what? I just got 11 broken ribs. I'm 43 fucking years old. Okay, a normal man is not going to be saying, yo, you know what? I'm going to work today with 11 broken ribs that I fucking just got 7 weeks ago."
Okay,
Yeah,
number one, Drew Brees is 41 years old. Number two, he thought he could make his football team great again because somebody was lying about their votes. Number three, he knew his ass was grass. He knew he was done.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
Prideful.
I'd like to hear Darnell's take on golf winning.
I'm gonna say this because going into the playoffs, I said defense wins, and my Rams had the number one defense. We got our ass whooped by Aaron Rodgers in that offense. No matter Aaron Donald wasn't healthy, we know, but he didn't look like Aaron Donald, and you see the result. Bucks come in to the same field against the same team.
Thank you.
They pick up Aaron Rodgers about 3 times. Defense still wins. My defense didn't show up. Tampa's dead. That's why Tampa's in the Super Bowl, and everybody else is watching.
You hear that, Saints fans? That's why you watching on the couch.
And Breeze wasn't going to say he doesn't want to play. What NFL player takes themselves out of games? Who's the Scottie Pippen in the NFL?
Cutler.
Yeah,
Jay
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
How
2010 NFC Championship.
How often does that happen, though? I mean, think about it. Drew Brees isn't going to do that. You know, he thinks he's going to take his team to the Super Bowl. It didn't happen, but he's not going to take himself out of it.
Even with that, JB, I give Tampa Bay a lot of credit because the Saints beat them twice in the regular season, and the last one was a beatdown on prime time.
Thank you.
And now you got to go. Now you got to go back to the Superdome and play them again, and this time for more stakes. And you come out on top because your defense caused turnovers and gave Brady short field. You know, when you give Tom Brady short fields, it's almost over. It's basically over.
I tried to tell everybody who would listen. Week 19, Drew Brees is getting shot in the back like Ricky from Boys in the Hood. People thought I was joking. Look what happened. Ricky! And now that's why his ass is restructuring his contract so that way they can save some of that talent. Y'all better throw some respect on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers name. There's never been a team, Never, to have a quarterback leave one team and in that same year take them to the Super Bowl. We can talk about the road record. We can talk about the defense. We can talk about Brady because I'm sure probably y'all want to talk about Brady. But y'all don't want to talk about Godwin and Evans. And y'all don't want to talk about the running game that you're not respecting. Bruh, let's talk about Tampa Bay.
Alex, can I ask you something? Do you believe like some people just really refuse to take you seriously in this whole thing?
You talking about me or Tampa?
Well, you, because based on what you're saying, and everything you're saying is right, and it seems like some people are not seeing it your way. Like they think you're just blowing smoke up their butt. It really seems like some people just refuse to take you seriously. They just think you're full of shit.
I let my writing do the talking for me. I let all the shows that I go on do the talking for me. I do the fact that I got media credentials for Super Bowl week and all the interviews I have do the talking for me. As a matter of fact, I allow the people who are in this room who worked with me and was gracious with me to do the talking for me.
Speaking of which, let me hear how that feel because I know you interviewed some of the Bucks players. So, what stood out to you when talking to the Bucks?
What stood out to me with Bucks, Devin White, bro. I'm gonna tell you this. Me and Alex talked about it one of the nights. I was just like, a lot of things overwhelmed me and whatnot. The Bucks, and he actually did something on it. The Bucks linebackers are the key to winning this Super Bowl.
You didn't quote me. Don't quote me, Phil. As Alex said, I'm full of shit.
Hey,
don't quote me.
Hey, put a pin in that.
Let me tell you that. You know who backed me up on this? You know who also backed you up on your little topic right there? London Fletcher.
I'm glad you said that because when we get close to the end of this and we get to a special point, I want you to bring that back up because I like that.
Because the thing about it, and I even said it, you need to come up to the line of scrimmage, jam that fool Travis Kelce. Before Travis Kelce thinks about running his route, you need to hit him in his chest. Bump him. When I mean bump him, not that patty cake bump you guys tend to see. I mean like one of the edge rushers, maybe like Shaq Barrett, maybe
chip him.
Yeah, I mean
not bump him, chip him.
No, what I mean by bump, no. I know chip, but what I mean by bump, my bump is boom.
I'm saying if you're Shaq Barrett or JPP, when he's on that side, when he goes to get off the line, you chip him. It throws him off.
True.
It's not bumping because he can't release off of a chip. That's different than
true.
Bumping.
Hey, let me get my man.
Why I was saying that too is because they like to motion him out to the slot. So
yeah,
you better throw some force to it.
It's a lot to talk about.
Chipping them
my boy Dre in here. Dre,
yeah, absolutely
you
right.
You follow Tom Brady from the wing in the Tampa. So let me get you in here.
Phil said it's right. The defense is going to be the key. And then on top of that, what happened when we played them in November? Tampa's defense got their ass whooped. I mean, yeah, we lost by 3 points, but Mahomes and Kelsey and Tyreek Hill went ham. This game right here, the defense is gonna have to. They got to prove themselves this game. But again, with the momentum that they've been showing in the postseason, I definitely believe that Tampa defense is ready for this game. They're ready for this game. I'm quite sure they've been hearing all this talk about Mahomes this, Mahomes that. Kelsey is getting all this praise. Tyreek Hill is getting all this praise. I know that defense is going to be ready for tomorrow. I know they are.
Amen, brother. Amen.
I know they're ready for tomorrow. They're ready for tomorrow.
And the fact that I'm still confident in Tampa's defense was just based on how, again, they were able to stop Aaron Rodgers. So, and the fact is, you know how Darnell mentioned, LA Rams had the best defense, and then Green Bay, destroyed them, and then. It's just it amazes me how people are just not giving the credit to Tampa. Oh, and Alex, just to clarify, I never said specifically I don't think you're full of shit. I was just saying some people obviously believe that you are. So, but for me, no. I
believed what everybody believed, I'd have been hung as a child, picking cotton. I don't give a damn what people believe. It's what you can prove.
Yeah. But point is, everything you said was right. So I agree with you.
All right. So that's how we get to this point down to Tampa, Kansas City Chiefs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give a shout out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers making history. You get to play for the Super Bowl in your own stadium. So with that being said, of course, we gotta talk about it. It's the most main topics of the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady.
Do we have to? Because there's better storylines. There's much better storylines. Oh, look, everybody wants to talk about the GOAT and the baby GOAT. Brother Darnell, please. All
right, can I really throw this one out here, because being here and sitting with the New York media, which I think they're all a bunch of idiots anyway, the factor of, again, the worldwide bastard kind of made an impact on Sunday last week with the supposed infected barber that was giving players haircuts. I love that security that we just put a barber in and said, hey, let's give half the Kansas City Chief haircuts and I'm infected. Like, I don't understand how that worked. But God forbid that, let's say these guys did get the worldwide bastard thing going on. How would that impact the game?
Well, it wouldn't impact Tampa at all because they actually test people 2 times a day. And as far as Kansas City is concerned, as long as you're not running down little kids, I'm not worried about COVID. It's the last game of the season. Guys, no one's talking about the offensive line of Kansas City being a weakness, or better yet, the fact that you can run on the left side of the defensive line between Nadi and Possumwa. There's a lot of holes in Kansas City, and people are expecting Patrick Mahomes to be Superman. Did y'all not forget that last Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes was underwhelming? Yes, he won the game. Yes, he completed that long pass to Tyreek Hill, but he didn't look good. He looked better than Peyton Manning's last Super Bowl, but that's not hard to do. Bro, you got a defense breathing down your neck, a left side of the offensive line that you can't rely on, and you got linebackers who want to give some smoke to Travis Kelce. And usually, if you know anything about quarterback, it takes a 5 to 7 drop to get those deep passes to Tyreek Hill. That's usually 2 to 3 seconds. If you're getting pressure off the line of scrimmage, you're not going to have time to have those deep drops.
Didn't Peyton Manning play that game in a wheelchair? Because that's what he looked like.
143 yards, but I'm full of shit.
You got a Super Bowl ring out of it. I give him that.
Well, I mean, with Denver's defense, I could have got a ring out of that, bro. Bro, Peyton Manning was toast. You got to think about the first time Peyton Manning made it to the Super Bowl with Denver. Seattle bum rushed them. There was a turnover and a fumble 14 seconds in. That may not have been Peyton's fault, but they never recovered. The second time against Carolina, Peyton Manning was awful. But that defense was clapping. And it made, what's the name? Medea. Yeah, Medea didn't even want to jump on the football, bro. That's how scary that Denver Bronco defense was.
For those of you who he's referring to, call him a dead.
I know
I'm talking to the audience. For those of you who doesn't remember, we're talking about Cam Newton not jumping on the football.
Exactly who we're talking about.
So, John, JB, y'all want to get in here and talk about the Chiefs side of things?
Well, I mean, Alex makes a great point bringing back the Manning Super Bowl when, Seattle just kind of bum rushed them, but it was really quick. Mahomes has a tendency to start off slow in the playoffs, and you don't want to give Brady a chance to get out in front. And that Tampa Bay defense that nobody's given any credit to is going to make it tough. If you let Tampa Bay go out, double-digit lead, which could possibly happen, I don't think they're going to be able to recover, even with their explosive offense.
John, you want to hop in?
Yeah, I guess I'm the only one that actually believes in Kansas City. Everybody's just knocking and giving Tampa Bay all this credit. I mean, guess we all forgot that Tyreek Hill went off for 200 yards in the first quarter against his same defense. And that was with Kansas City taking their foot off the gas. They took their foot off the gas. Yeah, they ended up winning by a touchdown, but that was because they took it easy. Yeah, 3 points. That's because they took their foot off the gas. Tyreek Hill could have went for 400 yards if he really wanted. I mean, he was just burning them all day. I'm sorry, the first quarter. So, come on. We're really forgetting that Tyreek Hill did that to this same defense in this same stadium. Same stadium that they're about to play in tomorrow. He did it.
Hold on.
So hold on.
No.
Because I want to talk to Phil here. So
now, hold on. Now, what week was that when that loss? I'm trying to.
Matter of fact, week 12 down in Tampa, Jim Nance and Tony Romo called the game. Tony Romo said, "Don't be surprised if you see these two back here later on in the season. This is where we at. Same place, same team, same announcing crew."
Now I'm gonna say this: during that time frame, I felt that Tampa Bay didn't truly find themselves until week 13, 14, 15, 16, and say that we that badass month down here in the NFC South that can go forward to the playoffs and so on and so forth. I still kept seeing like a whole conflicting battle between them on offense. Now, defense now, you look at what Antoine Whitfield Jr. can do. He wasn't there during that NFC Championship game. And then they lost what? Didn't they also lose Whitehead as well?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those two guys, key guys, did not play in that game. They won that game. Now you bring these guys back against Kansas City. The young, the healthy, they're ready to go. And now Ty Bowles can be like, oh, you know what? Let's go on and think about this. All right, instead of me trying to get, I think Tyreek Hill was lining up on what Carlton. He was on
Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis. Yes, Carlton.
I'm not
Davis.
going that route this time. I'm going to put it on somebody else because Carlton Davis is going to have to be on Sammy Watkins because Sammy Watkins is going to be ready for Sunday's game. You can run a combo coverage for your defense. And I know Ty Bowles will do that. He runs multiple defense. You can mix it up. You can disguise it. So, he knows what he's going up against now.
Alex Fleming, I got a question for you because I know a few more Bucks fans, and they all said this to me, and I want your take on it. They felt like that game against the Washington football team was the turning point because that defense didn't do that well. They fourth-string quarterback in Washington played his ass off to keep that game as close as it was. But Tom Brady doing what Tom Brady does, make sure to come up with that victory. Was that the turning point for the defense?
The turning point was after the bye week. Hear me on this one. New Orleans Saints goes inside Raymond James and embarrasses them. That was week 9. They beat up somebody on week 10, whatever. Monday Night Football, they lose against the Rams. Then on that following Sunday, week 12, they lose against the Chiefs. So they lose 3 of their 5 regular season games in a 4-week span. The natives were getting restless. They get a bye week. They get Antonio Brown acclimated against Minnesota. They beat up on Atlanta after being down 17-0. They beat up on Detroit. That game was over before the half. And then they take out Atlanta, and that field was clicking. After the bye week, Tampa Bay was scoring. The offense wasn't giving up sacks. The defense was flying around the field. They had a 4-game winning streak. They went into Washington. They won ugly. They went back to the Superdome, to that Thunderdome, without Alex Kappa, by the way, their starting offensive guard on the right side, because they replaced him with Stinney. Keep in mind, they still didn't have Jamal Dean or Vita Vea. I just want to let you know that week 12, Jamal Dean and Vita Vea didn't play against the Chiefs. Okay, I digress. They go inside the Superdome and they beat up on the Saints. And then everybody's like, oh, you're going to lose to Aaron Rodgers. You're going to lose to Aaron Rodgers. One ugly. Yeah, they went up to the Green Bay Packers and was up 28-10 at the half and handled business. And guess who's going to be back for the Super Bowl matchup? Vita Vea and Jamal Dean. Why does that make a difference? Last year, Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh were the reason why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the #1 rush defense. So you could take away Clyde Edwards-Helaire and that bum Le'Veon Bell. Oh, and Jamal Dean, second-year player, is going to make their secondary a lot better. So expect Carlton Davis, just like Mr. Jones said, on Sammy Watkins. You're not going to get a replay of Week 12. But then again, I could just be full of shit.
So let me get JB and John in here, because Sammy Watkins is coming back. He hasn't played in who knows how long. You still got Tyreek Hill. You still got Travis Kelce, your main 2 targets for Patrick Mahomes. They are without both of their tackles for this game. So, do you believe Patrick Mahomes can still be Patrick Mahomes?
I think Patrick Mahomes is going to do some great things. It's going to be a close game, but the Tampa Bay defense is going to keep it close. They're going to make big plays because the problem that the Chiefs are going to have with the line. Andy Reid's going to do what Andy Reid does and, mix things up. And he's had 2 weeks to prepare. He's played, Tampa Bay in the past. He's got Watkins back. But Andy Reid likes to look at different things and find different plays, and he'll keep Patrick Mahomes moving. But the Tampa Bay defense is going to keep it close. But Mahomes will do what Mahomes does.
What you got, John?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you guys are all, I think Phil talked about how the turning point was the Washington game. I mean, I believe we were talking about the Chiefs having a soft division or a soft schedule. I mean, Alex just got done talking about how the Bucs played Atlanta, Detroit, and Atlanta. Then they played a 4th-string quarterback. That's pretty soft in my opinion right there, going through that little gauntlet. Then you go to the Saints and no fans, so you get lucky there. Drew Brees attempts 0 passes of 20 or more yards. Zero. If they listen to me and they take out Drew Brees down by 10, they have a chance with Jameis Winston, but nobody believed me because you have to leave Drew Brees in because, you got to stick to your loyalty and go down with the ship. They could have went with Jameis Winston and actually attempted more than 0 passes down the field. Oh, wait, they attempted 1 and it was a 56-yard touchdown. I mean, now the Green Bay game was impressive, but then again, Kansas City doesn't have anybody named Kevin King on their defense as far as I know. I mean, I'll go check their roster, but I don't think Kevin King is playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't think Scotty Miller is going to get a free touchdown before the half. Whereas the game was decided by less than a touchdown, something like that.
5 points.
Yeah, 5 points. So if that Kevin King goofy play doesn't happen at the half, maybe the game's different. That play never should have happened to any NFL player. That was just stupid. And Mike Pettin, rightfully so, got fired. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying the Bucs didn't deserve that win, but if Kevin King doesn't give up that touchdown, maybe things are a little bit different. If they actually go for it on 4th down in the red zone instead of kicking a field goal like the dumbest team in the world, maybe that game's a little bit different. So let's not say the Bucs are all that great. Let's not give them all the credit because the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. They still won with Chad Henne against the Browns. Like, that was impressive that they were able to pull that out. Browns were storming back. That was still impressive. They shut down the Bills, who all I heard that whole week from Alex Fleming. Alex, you're the big one on the Bills that week, but how those linebackers are going to shut down Travis Kelce. They held him to 60-some yards first time they played. And then what did they do? Absolutely shut down who got Diggs, shut down Josh Allen. Just saying, these Chiefs, they're in the Super Bowl. They beat up
the Bills pretty good.
Yeah, and everybody was talking about the Bills, about how the Bills are just going to walk all over the Chiefs going into Arrowhead, and what happened?
Really?
There, so
who was saying that?
Yeah, I got somebody here on the same chat. Alex Lemon was talking about them Bills who got Diggs. Nobody could cover him. So that's one person.
I remember being on that show as well. I don't think Alex said they were going to walk all over the Chiefs.
I heard nothing but how the Bills were just going to walk all over these Chiefs, and the Bills are hot, and they're the best team.
John slightly misquoting me. I did have the Bills, but I didn't say walk.
It was all about who got Diggs, and apparently the Chiefs got him.
Bro,
he wanted to stay and watch that celebration.
That's why the Bills lost that game. They don't have a sufficient running game. Josh Allen takes some of the worst sacks I've ever seen in my life. And when you can't run the football, you could just bear down and start sending psycho blitzes. And, they lost their cool. Once the Bills' offensive line was unable to hold, Allen got a personal penalty. A couple of offensive linemen got personal foul penalties. They unraveled. They desperately need a running back. But yes, congrats. You called me out, and you were right. I even wrote a story called 52 Pickup because I thought the number 5 seed, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the number 2 seed, Buffalo Bills, were going to meet in the Super Bowl. I had to dumb it down for some because, apparently I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
All right. I like the conversation. So we know about the big stars: Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Mike Evans. We know about the big stars, but we all know in big games there's an X factor who steps up and can turn the game around. Dre, who would you pick as an X factor? No matter what side, who would you say needs to be an X factor in this game tomorrow?
Running game from Tampa.
Phil.
Burnett and Jones. I need them. I need them to go crazy tomorrow night.
Phil, X factor for tomorrow.
Oh, yes. X factor. Ronald Jones.
Yeah,
Ronald Jones. He has not been effective like these past couple of games, and they've been relying on Leonard Fournette. I think this is the game where he busts open, just run free.
He said, "Just run free."
Alex,
so you agree with me?
I know Alex is loving this right now, but I got to be logical with it. It's like Ronald Jones. Like, you look at the last him, like, damn, where were you? You had this, you had this like burst of energy in the second half against the Saints, but where was it when you needed it? This is the game that they needed.
Yes, Darnell.
X factor for tomorrow.
Ooh, you know what? Let me compound on what Phil Jones said. Hammer and sickle. Leonard Fournette has 200 less carries than what he had when he was a starter in Jacksonville. He's fresh. Ronald Jones had 971 yards this season as the starting running back. If you run the football, that means you're getting first downs, you're matriculating the ball down the field, and Patrick Mahomes is not on the damn field. And since I've already pointed out that Passanwa and Sorensen in the back are probably two of the worst graded players on that Kansas City Chiefs defense, I'm going to keep running the football until you stop it, boo-boo. Oh, and Breeland, Snead, and the homeboy on the opposite side, Travarius Ward, they're decent corners. Breeland already said that he's going to be covering Mike Evans, whoever the best number one they have. Here's the problem. Tampa Bay's got too many number ones. Evans, Godwin. I'm sick and tired of telling people that this is the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. The numbers prove it. Antonio Brown's a number one. I don't think we need to argue about this. I think his resume proves that. So hopefully we don't have to argue about this. And then they got another number one who's buried on the chart who can't get any damn playing time. That's Tyler Johnson. He was a goal line and red zone threat as a Minnesota Golden Gopher his rookie year. He's the number one who can't get any damn playing time. To hell with Scotty Miller. Bro, too many weapons. There's a weakness on the defensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs. There's a weakness on the offensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs. And you got some linebackers who are hungry, who want to punch people in the mouth. Bro, I could be wrong. I was wrong about the Bills. But my spidey senses are tingling. And someone called me out and said that I was mierda. So I'm going to go once again and say Tampa Bay is going to handle business.
All right. John, X Factor for tomorrow.
Yeah, first of all, Tyler Johnson's not a number one, so let's just get that out of the way. Chris Godwin with seven drops in the playoffs. I can't count that as a number one when you drop it 7 times in the postseason. So let's get that out of the way. Antonio Brown and Mike Evans, I'm going to give them their credit. Fantastic number ones. My X factor, nobody's talking about. The guy I talked about last year for the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl over Mahomes. And he was X Factor last year in the playoffs, X Factor in the Super Bowl, X Factor he's going to be again this year, X Factor he was against the Bills, Chris Jones, the cousin of Phil Jones potentially. Chris Jones is arguably, one of the best players on that team. He's just underappreciated because they have so many other guys. They have so many guys on the offensive end. Matthews is a honey badger, so everybody gives him the love. Chris Jones is a man among boys. I mean, that guy is amazing. He's fantastic. And he's going to stop any chance they have of running up the middle. You're going to have to bounce to the outside, which Jones and Fournette are not exactly guys that bounce to the outside. They like to pound it up the middle. And Chris Jones is going to be waiting. He's fantastic. Frank Clark is a big man on the outside, defensive end. So that defensive line, let's give them credit. Where the credit's due. Chris Jones, though, was the X factor as he was last year when they won it, as he was this year.
They both play on the right side. They both play on the right side, John. That left side is just bare.
Chris Jones is like Aaron Donald. He just doesn't get the love. Chris Jones is amazing. That guy is going to be the X factor in tomorrow's game. Watch and see. He's going to stop that run game and make Brady beat them. And the Bucs want to win by running the ball, not by passing the ball.
JB, X Factor.
So I'm going to go with everybody else that said the Tampa Bay running game, because the only way they're going to win this game is to hold the ball. Got to hold the ball as much as possible, keep it out of Mahomes' hand. And they got 2 really good running backs. If that leg is good, and Fournette, who's excited he got out of Jacksonville and playing on a team that's winning, they're going to be the key to bringing this to Tampa if Tampa can win.
All right, so let me get to my guys. Bearman, X Factor.
I have to go Mike Evans on this one. Not because he's from the same state as I am, but Mike Evans, he was a bit of a factor this season, wasn't he? 13 receiving touchdowns. And what a lot of people actually do not know is that he's the first receiver in NFL history to have 1,000 plus receiving yards in each of his first 7 years. Okay. It seems to me that he's Tom Brady's favorite target. So I think the X factor overall is the connection between Brady and Evans. It's going to have to be pretty high. If those two can't find each other on the field, it's going to be a problem. But I think Mike Evans is going to be a big part of the game in Tampa's favor.
Ricky.
I'm not disagreeing, but I am going to bring to the fact that in 2 games, Mike Evans had less than 5 yards. Against the Saints in the playoffs, he had 1 catch for 3 yards and a touchdown. And against Denver, he had 2 catches for 2 yards for 2 touchdowns. I'm just saying.
No, I respect your opinion.
Ricky.
No, that's not opinion. Those are stats.
Yeah, well.
Thank you.
I respect what you say. And you don't have to agree with me, but
Okay, so I have actually 2 X factors for this game tomorrow. 1, clock management. Everybody always discusses about how they run the ball. And if anybody really is like watching on the stream, I know people on the radio feed can't see it. But there's an NFL simulation for Madden 21 that's being played on the backdrop. Now, according to what the Madden simulation is, and Madden simulations have been 95% correct over the last 7 Super Bowls, they have the score right now at Kansas City 28, Tampa Bay 23, which means as soon as a team gets the ball, all they want to do is put up points. The objective is to keep both teams, either team's going to be looking at it the same way. Can we stay on the field long enough to keep the other quarterback off? Obviously, with Tampa, you can go no huddle because obviously it's Brady. He could change plays and read defenses at the line of scrimmage. So you have that no huddle offense with Tampa. You don't have that same thing with Kansas City. The other problem that I have with the time management is this. Ronald Jones has been a fumble machine over his last 2 seasons playing in Tampa. Alex, you obviously cover Tampa, so you've seen Ronald Jones drop the bread. Okay?
Couple times.
But even this year, which is the reason why majority of the times you have not seen Ronald Jones on the field, is because Arians is afraid of him fumbling the ball. Fournette is a better ball carrier than Ronald Jones. Okay? He hugs that thing. He hugs that thing like Fort Knox. So you don't really see the turnovers from the Kansas City Chiefs running backs as of late. I'm pretty sure the numbers on turnovers for carries are more on the Tampa side than they are the KC side. So clock management is 1. 2, points off of turnovers. If there are going to be turnovers, let's say you get the tale of 2 halves with Brady. He goes 3 touchdowns, no interceptions the first half. Now here comes the second half, and you've got 3 picks and maybe a touchdown from Brady. How does Kansas City react on points off getting points off of turnovers? Same thing in reverse. If you somehow rattle Mahomes, who apparently in the last few games has been throwing picks where he doesn't normally do that, and Tampa either gets the ball deep in Kansas City zone or they end up getting the short field, how many points are going to be caught off of those turnovers? Those are going to be my 2 critical things. Because we're either going to get a snooze fest like we did with New England and the Rams, or you're going to get a Super Bowl like you had last year, Kansas City down 10 at half, and comes roaring back in the second half.
Pipe bomb. Let me mention that Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady have the second and third highest winning percentage. Mahomes in his young career is 44-9. That's 730. But then again, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You're absolutely right about the turnovers, but the thing is, the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been opportunistic. Look what they did in the regular season versus the turnovers that they caused in the playoffs. They had 2 turnovers against the Washington football team. They had 3. That should have been 4 against the Saints. And how many did they have against the Green Bay Packers? They've picked the right time to be ball hawks. And if Kansas City's going to fall down a couple of touchdowns to Super Bowl Tom Brady, we've seen regular season Tom Brady, we've seen playoff Tom Brady, and we've seen Super Bowl Tom Brady. And you of all people know what Super Bowl Tom Brady can do.
I've also seen Super Bowl Tom Brady put up over 500 plus passing yards against the Eagles, and on the last drive fell apart like fucking wet bread.
Well, whose fault was that? Whose fault was that? Was it the defense or was it Brady? Who are you blaming for that game? Somebody put up 500 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Okay, but again, me seeing Brady for 20 plus years, okay, has not seen Brady play a full complete game this year. I am dead serious when I tell you this. They what was that, the 99-yard rushing touchdown from Ronald Jones earlier this year? Oh, did Brady have any hand of that?
Carolina Panthers.
Okay. So, again, the last few weeks that I've seen Brady play, I'm not going to take into effect the Detroit game because Detroit is utter garbage. Okay? The Atlanta Falcons have not been the same since that 28-3 freaking lead that they had in the Super Bowl and got blown out the doors from there. Okay? So the Falcons haven't been good for 4 years. So I'm not going to put any weight on that. I'm going to put weight on the games where you've seen Brady play. The first game of Saints stunk. Okay? The Kansas City game, he came back, but couldn't finish the job. Brady in the past would have finished that job. So this year, yes, he did bring Tampa to the Super Bowl. Yes, he's had a phenomenal run the second half of the season. But Brady is not fully Brady. It is not the Brady of the last 20 years in Foxborough.
Well, Father Time is undefeated, bro. Come on now.
Father Time is not undefeated.
Father Time is undefeated, bro.
If
Father Time
I'll
is
put it
undefeated.
this way, if somehow miraculously, and I'm not saying this because I'm rooting for the Chiefs, nor am I rooting for the Tampa Bay Bucks, by the way. Okay? Brady's not on my team anymore. He's not a player I root for. I don't follow the player just because they went to another team. Okay? But let's just say, if you want to go back to the two big losses that he had in the Super Bowl against the New York Giants, where they put him on his ass and pressured him all day long. If Kansas City does that, Brady will play like he did the second half of the game where he threw 3 picks.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because there's a reason why Steve Spagnuolo is the defensive coordinator.
Exactly the point, because the Kansas City knew that at some point in time, it was going to be the point where you're going to have to go against the big, bad, evil empire in New England.
And the only way that you beat Brady is you have to send a 4-man rush and drop 7. That's how the Giants beat him twice. That's how the Eagles beat him. Drop 7, rush 4. You can't blitz 5. You can't blitz 6. If you do that, he'll pick you apart. You have to rush 4 and get to him with those 4 guys. That's why Chris Jones is the X factor. That's why Frank Clark is a big thing there, because you got to rush 4 and beat him. If you, like I said, if Alex knows this, I mean, Pipebomb, you know this. If you blitz Brady, he's going to pick you apart. You have to rush 4 and drop 7 to beat him. It's the only way.
But you see, the thing with Brady is this, and again, people badmouth me for dogging the fucking Pats for the last 20 years, okay? I've studied the Patriots all the way through, from man 53 all the way up to Brady, offensive lines, defensive schemes. I played football for 6 years, so I know, like, reading coverages and everything else. I'm worse than Tony Romo. I turn off the feed on CBS when they're on. But you could tell when Brady is not right. You could definitely tell it. The facial expressions, he's got a bad poker face. Okay? And if he's getting hit early, that trend continues from second 1 of the start of the game to the end of the game. Okay?
Pipe bomb. How is he going to get hit early when Kansas City traditionally plays a 4-2-5 defense? Answer me this. Just answer me this and be honest with me.
Because you can disguise blitzes on Brady very well.
4-2-5 defense.
A game I'm going to reference, okay? A game I'm going to reference. AFC Championship game, Jacksonville versus New England.
And who won that game, sir?
The Patriots did win that game.
I'm glad you brought that up because who had the better personnel in that Jacksonville game? Let's be completely honest. That Jacksonville defense was stacked.
Okay, but again, you got a defensive coordinator who's played against Brady twice in the big game.
What, 11, 13 years ago?
And the only reason, to go to that Jacksonville game, the only reason Jacksonville lost is because they got ultra conservative in the second half. And they were afraid that Brady would come back. They got ultra conservative. They did not keep their foot on the gas. If they did, they would have beat the Patriots. But they took their foot off the gas.
Defensively, they tore Brady apart.
And then they gave him new life by taking their foot off the gas.
Off the gas.
They gave him new life.
By going 3 and out.
Now,
the fact that Spags is the defensive coordinator, I give you that. That was against the New York Giants. That was 2007. And I'd like to argue that the offensive line that he has now is a little bit more spry than the offensive line he had in 2007.
But
and that defensive line to the New York Giants is definitely not the same defensive line.
But the key to Spagnuolo is this, though. And I rip apart my brother-in-law's team like no tomorrow. That run defense before this year was last in the NFL. They are not last in the NFL anymore. They progressively, but again, they're not last in the NFL. The numbers show it. The run defense for the Kansas City Chiefs has significantly gotten better since 2019.
Oh my God. Okay, so since they're not last, they should get a participation trophy. But Tampa Bay's in the top 3, but it's not going to matter.
But
Bro,
Tampa Bay gives
Vita
up a
Vea-
little bit more rush offense this year than they did
because
last
they
year.
lost Vita Vea. Because they lost Vita Vea. I'm gonna repeat myself. Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh last year were the main reason why Tampa Bay had the number 1 rush defense. They
I
lost
believe they
Vita
were number
Vea
3.
week 5.
Number
I'm
3.
talking about last year.
Number 3. They were
Follow
number 3
me. They
last
were
year.
number 1 against the run. They were number 1 against the run last year. Follow me. Now, Vita Vea gone week 5, and they struggled against the run. Vita Vea back in the playoffs, and they were good with Nunez Roches. I spoke to him on Thursday, and Nunez Roches is like, I'm a starter. I just need to take my chance. And they didn't miss a damn beat. Now you got Vita Vea and Nunez Roches back to stop a Kansas City Chiefs offense who was mediocre running the football ever since Clyde Edwards-Helaire went down. Bro.
And when he came back, what did you still have? Le'Veon Bell. And
Who
I'll be
did
honest with you.
what?
Exactly. That's my point. That was my point in the beginning. The whole freaking Kansas City offense went in the toilet once they got Le'Veon Bell. Now you have a healthy Helaire back. You've got I can't remember his first name because again I don't cover the Kansas City Chiefs the way that I normally do.
Darrell Williams,
their original number 1 starter before they got Helaire, before they got Le'Veon Bell. He was a beast in the freaking Super Bowl last year.
It was Damian Williams.
Damian
was
Williams.
their
Damian
number 1.
Williams.
Yeah,
But
Damian Williams.
But I think
But he opted out because of COVID.
Darrell
Yes.
Williams
you.
got him. Darrell Williams got him there, but Damian took over the Super Bowl.
Darrell Williams, low key, is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's underrated. I mean, I honestly I wouldn't even put Bell in. I would give Darrell Williams and Edwards-Helaire the ball this game.
the only
Bell's a bum.
the only way I see Le'Veon Bell getting in this game is anything catches out of the backfield. That's where I see you're going to have Helaire running, you're going to have Williams running, and Le'Veon's going to probably look to be like a third down back. Okay?
All right,
But that is a very big thing. But once again, to the point though, the time clock management's going to be huge, and I think the points over turnovers.
So my X factor for the Chiefs is Chris Jones, because it's not if you get pressure. If you can get pressure up the middle of Tom Brady, it's going to be heavy, because Tom Brady is not mobile. So pressure up the middle is the best way to get to Brady. Come off the edges, he can shoulder shake a bit, move over laterally, and still throw the ball. Pressure up the middle. Chris Jones has to dominate in the front for Kansas City. That's my X factor. Tampa Bay. My X factor for Tampa Bay. My three of my guys up here, y'all pick Ronald Jones in the running game. I'm not going offense. I'm going defense. Phil brought it up earlier. The linebackers for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Can you hold Kelsey down? At the same time, do your job in the run game. Because if you let Helaire get loose, that's another weapon for Patrick Mahomes to use out the backfield.
Darnell, I believe under Todd Bowles' system, they don't have to worry about Helaire because Vea and Sue is going to handle that. I'll repeat. Last year, they were number one against the run. They were number 3.
I hear you.
But
I hear you.
Here's my thing. If the linebackers can just throw Travis Kelce off his cadence, like you know everything's about timing and participation. So if you can knock Kelce off of his route, that's going to knock Mahomes off of the timing and in sync that he has with Travis Kelce. Now, he's not going to have a 5 to 7 step drop because Fisher's not there, and I don't know if you trust Allegretti. That's the offensive guard that replaced Tardif because he went to COVID. With that being said, if you can get a little pressure and knock Kelce off his route, you knock off the timing. You knock off the timing, that gives Pierre Paul, Shaq Barrett, or Devin White a chance to get to Patrick Mahomes. Who was the sack leader last year? I forgot. I got this thing. I think it's halitosis. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It was
I think that's Alzheimer's, not halitosis.
It's Shaq Barrett. I know.
Yeah, it was Shaq Barrett. Okay.
He outdid Aaron Donald.
Let me just ask this one thing in here because I can guarantee tell you it's going to be a huge problem. let's say you do go that chip route where you try to knock Kelsey off the route, right? Officiating always usually apparently has some freaking cadence in Super Bowls as of late. Are the Bucs going to still do that if they keep getting hit with cheap shit penalties?
It's
I
not
don't
a, it's
think
not
they're
a
gonna get
penalty
hit
to
with cheap
chip.
penalties. Yeah.
Nah.
Yes,
It's
but
not
if
a
you do
penalty
it,
at all.
if you do something within after the 5 yards though, which is more going to be
Well,
probably
No, you
going to
chip at
happen.
the line of
Let me get on
scrimmage.
this.
You don't chip. You don't chip down the field. You chip at
But
the
if
line.
he's not,
Yeah.
if he's not on the line and he's in the slot,
you got it.
your linebackers are not going to be up the middle.
Hold on, let me
Right.
say, hold on. Look, I'm gonna say it like this: if he's going out into the slot, because I played linebacker before, I had to go out with a tight end, and he was in the slot. You get up on that line of scrimmage, and I mean, if you know press coverage, the definition of press coverage is be right up on the line of scrimmage. Get up in his grill. You need to get up in his shoulder pads, and you can literally make him your rag doll.
Yep.
Gotta
gonna
hit him
say
early.
anything, they will not penalize him, because as long as it's at the line of scrimmage and your hands are like, I can do that, you're not going to get penalized.
But
And
see,
to be honest, you can drive him back and force him out of bounds.
but you see, this is where that I've done the game. I've done the game like you have, okay? But where I'm throwing into effect here that God forbid the phantom holding calls, or you get a fucking phantom pass interference call. At some point, is that game plan still going to be effective if they hit those penalties?
Yeah,
Gotta
and
just do it.
Because you know what? I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. If you're not going to line it with you having Eric Fisher missing, and you're trying to put Kelsey out there in motion and whatnot, you know there's somebody else coming right there to level Mahomes. They're going to be getting the hits on him. Now, that's the one they're probably going to be a little worried about, but they're still going to put those hits on Mahomes. And Mahomes, he ain't going to be trying to, I'm going to try to throw, he's jammed up. Versus, okay, he's on the line. I can try to, do my little motion where we can do those little tight end screens. But I'm going to tell you this.
Phil. Okay, real talk. Fisher hurt during the Buffalo game. That means you got a second string tackle that hasn't had a lot of playing time and is being thrown to the wolves. You know what you call that? Fresh meat. I'm sending 2 cats to that tackle, and I'm putting him on his butt until you're going to have to overcompensate and have somebody else chip block and help out that tackle. And
Now,
when you do,
now check this
someone's
out.
going to be.
I went back and found some old video on Pipebomb Radio. There's a blitz. It's a blitz package I like. I swear they need to start running that a lot. You can have Devin White on that side, and also have
I didn't say don't talk to me.
Devin White and Pierre Paul. Have them come crashing down on that side, creating pressure. Everybody's gonna be worried, like, okay, who that backup tackle's gonna be thinking, okay, hold on, who am I gonna go through? Am I gonna deal with Devin White right here on the outside? And what you're gonna do, you're gonna do a stunt. Have Pierre Paul go like he's going towards the outside, and then you're going to have Devin White stunt right back inside, because most likely you see Pierre Paul looping out that wide. What's Mahomes going to do? He's going to step up inside the pocket.
Phil.
Let me
ask you this
I
question.
think one guy can beat him. One guy can beat that backup tackle. If you have to, send 2, but one can get the job done.
Phil, let me ask you this, though, because, yes, offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs, not fully healthy. D-line can get off if they want to. But what if Patrick Mahomes gets away and you still got to cover these receivers and Kelsey longer than expected?
Hence, that's why I say you're going to be running some stunts. You run them stunts. I'm telling you this. It's going to create confusion for offensive linemen. That offensive line has been shuffling all season long. The one thing I noticed when they played against the Raiders and they were doing that injury-ridden O-line, the Raiders started running different stunts, and it started creating confusion. They thought they had the one guy blocked. Lo and behold, Mahomes steps up, and then he's faced with another defensive lineman right in his face, bringing him down. Disguises and stunts is what's going to throw that line off in this game. You do it
Phil.
correctly.
Hey, Phil. Since I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Chargers, they didn't have anything to play for, but Tyreek Hill played, and they had a safety over the top with the corner playing press coverage. Denver, the second time with that boring-ass Sunday night football game, Tyreek Hill was quiet. Why? Press coverage, getting touched on the line of scrimmage with a safety over the top. Hey, you know what happened? Cleveland. Press coverage, safety over the top. Tyreek Hill didn't go off against the Cleveland Browns either, bro. And I'm thinking, with Jamel Dean back and Colton Davis on Sammy Watkins, you should probably play press coverage with the safety like Antoine Winfield over the top, and you don't have to worry about Tyreek Hill getting 203 yards in the first quarter.
And I'm going to add on to that with the coverage. Instead of playing more favoritism towards the outside, take away the inside. You take away the inside from Kansas City, they can't do anything. Because when you have Mahomes, let's say the stunts don't work. Mahomes running all around. Usually when he's making those passes across the field, it's right. It's at the middle of the field.
All right.
Take away the inside.
So, let me get to Dre and Alex Flynn here. Because you got your main game plan going into this game, right? What would you say should possibly be the second half game plan? Because you know Andy Reid gonna make adjustments at halftime.
Go ahead, Dre.
Brady better not have an encore like he did against Green Bay. It's that simple. Protect the ball. Don't turn the ball over. It's that simple. You cannot make the same mistakes with this Kansas City team that you did with Green Bay. Brady got to play it safe, play smart. Don't turn the ball over. Work the clock, keep Mahomes' ass right there on that bench, and let's see what happens.
I don't believe I need to shovel any more dirt on somebody's stupid ass comment about me not knowing the game. But I have to say thank you to John Turner because it's a football world and we just live in it.
Shout out to John Turner.
A Pacific play. Hopefully you can see this. Maybe I should zoom out on it. This play should look very familiar. Why does this play look familiar? When Colton Davis was burnt for those 2 long touchdowns, this was the play design. You had trips right with Clyde Edwards-Helaire off to the opposite side with Kelsey shadowing the tackle. What does this do? This is Watkins and this is Hill. Why are they like that? Watkins runs a 10-yard in or out. It doesn't matter because he's just trying to get the safety to bite. Hill is now in one-on-one coverage, and Carlton Davis can't keep up with the cheetah. So what happens? Middle of the field because the safety bites, and then it's all the way open. How did it happen the second time? You flip it around, you play the exact same play. Now Hill's in the slot on this opposite side. This guy does a 15-yard bump and out. By going cutting in, he disrupts the other corner's route, leaving him one-on-one with no safety help, and then help is on the way because he has 2 touchdowns early. You take that play away.
So you're basically playing the bomb play in NFL Blitz, which Pipebomb has behind him.
Take away any
He's run that
long
play all
bombs.
the time.
I'll give you 3 first downs all day over 1 long bomb. You're going to have to earn it with me because sooner or later, I'm going to get to Mahomes.
There goes my point of ball management or clock management.
Like it.
See, I love the way you know what I think we need to do these panels more often because they are very informative, and I like to start fires so you guys can just go off and enjoy everything.
So like this is the group of people. This is just a few of the group of people that I talk sports with. Y'all hear the knowledge from these guys. So as we get ready
Darnell,
to get
what
out
are
of
you
here,
talking about? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Darnell, I'm stupid. I'm full of shit.
By the way, Alex, you need to send me some of those play things so we can post them.
I don't know how to reach you.
You can, well, we have a mutual in Darnell. You can always,
Okay. Okay.
Well, Alex, I know what people say about you, but when I listen to you and I got to know you, you know your sports. You worked on your sports. You worked on your craft, your knowledge. You was knowledgeable. So I don't care what they say. I don't my either. Interaction with you.
I don't either.
I know you know your stuff. That's why I wanted you on.
Being Texas, you want to say something. Say something.
What's up?
You got something else you want to say on here?
Well, yeah. Speaking of finishing the game, you say that thing on Brady. You know, Tampa defense got to put the hell of a lot of pressure on Patrick Mahomes. They got to take the guy down. If he's being sacked, if he's under pressure, if he's surrounded, he might not be able to get much going. But that Tampa defense is gonna have to it's probably gonna take at least 5 quarterback sacks, if you ask me. Got to force some turnovers, but on Brady, he's gonna have to avoid the turnovers.
This game's going to come down to the last drive of the game. It's set up perfectly for it. Both these defenses are going to step up somehow, and one of the defenses is going to win the game or lose the game.
So a game-winning field goal, is that what you have in mind?
That's what we're going to get into as we get out of here. So we're going to make our predictions. I'm going to start off on the bottom. John, who you have winning tomorrow?
By the way, before John, I don't like to cut you off, but I also do want to do this because I do this all the time. I want to put the NFL spread and the under-over in, and if you guys could pick it, that would be awesome. Okay? So general consensus right now is KC -3, under/over 56. Go ahead, sorry.
I'll go first. Over.
Definitely over.
Everybody's over. I like it. John, who's winning?
See, the only way the Bucks win this game, I said this Tuesday on our show, the only way the Bucks win this is if they keep it in the 20s. They have to keep it in the 20s. They can't go into a shootout. Cannot happen. That's not how the Bucks play football. The Chiefs want you to get into that shootout. They want you to, because that gets them going. That gets them revved up. They want it to be a 35-35 type of game. That's what they thrive on. So if I have the Chiefs 35-28. I guess I'm going to go with for this one. Chiefs, that's how they're going to win, is they're going to go into a shootout. The Bucks want to keep it lower scoring, kind of like the Giants, how they beat Brady. Keep it lower scoring. Don't let that offense get going.
JB, who you got winning tomorrow?
I like Kansas City to win it in the end on the last drive in a close game. I'd buy the 0.5 point and make it 2.5. And a great spread I saw from Rafael Esperanza from Doc Sports. He sent me the list of all the other bets. How many times Belichick gets set is one or more, -110. I think that's easy money if you're looking for a little prop bet action.
I like it. Dre, I already know who you're going with. Let's give me a score.
I can't give you a score, but I know Tampa gonna win. I say it stays in the 20s, and it has to stay there. It's like Homeboy said. This can't be a slugfest. If it's a slugfest, Kansas City is gonna win. So it has to stay in the 20s. If it stays in the 20s, I'm going with Tampa to win the game.
Phil, who wins tomorrow?
Oh man, everybody says it's going to stay in the 20s and whatnot. I don't believe that. I believe Tampa Bay does win it. It goes in the 30s, 34-31. Last minute heroics.
I don't have to ask Alex because I know who he going with. Alex, I gotta ask, who wins tomorrow?
Turnovers, running game. Leonard Fournette, $125, 3 rushing touchdowns overall, not just Leonard Fournette. Bucks 38, Chiefs 34. But then again, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I'm going to caption that line for you every time I talk to you, okay?
With a Marshall Lynch
one. I'm just saying, someone was ignorant and said something. I had to sit them down. I got some more dirt if you need it.
All right, so Bearman, our people been waiting a long time for this. Who wins tomorrow?
So Tampa 34-27.
Tampa 34-27.
You got to buy a touchdown, Alex.
I know Ricky don't like making picks, so.
Well, since I said defense is going to be the much needed. Like they're gonna have to sack the quarterback, and with a defensive effort like that, and when you have a team like Kansas City, in my opinion, 34-27 seems realistic.
Well, I have 2 picks for tomorrow, actually. One, the best pick of all, me being able to eat chili and all of that really, really great food while watching football. And I hope you guys get the chance to do that as well. Because everybody wins on fucking Super Bowl Sunday. And I am actually going to go with the Madden simulation that's playing in our background right now on the show screen. They have it as KC 35, Tampa 23.
Ooh.
Mm.
Oh, are we? Is that?
That's
33?
interesting because that's just over the over under too. So that's interesting because
Yeah, it
that's
is.
usually how
Right
lines
over.
work, is where they just go over or just go under. So that's interesting you say that.
All right, so now it's my pick, huh? Bearman, do you remember what I said 2 weeks ago when we was covering the Championship Sunday show?
Just tell everybody, buddy.
So, Alex, check this out. I said if a team makes it out of Lambeau Field to go back home to play, they was gonna win. I'm sticking by it. Tampa Bay takes it, celebrates for the city of Tampa. The final score, 34-31.
All right, so we somehow lost Snowman. I don't know where he went.
Yeah, Snowman. Yeah, Snowman never
forgot.
came
Yeah.
back. He never messaged me either, though.
Where did he go?
He was
But-
here, and then he bon voyaged. So I'm gonna go around everybody. Shout out your shows. And I do offer you that we are doing Sports Saturdays on the newly born Sound Machine FM. If you guys would like to participate in that, you get in touch with me. We get you a spot on a Saturday. Because one of the points of not only doing this show and running the radio show setup is to get as many people noticed as possible. That's always been the goal. It's not always just to do shows and hang out with everybody, but we want to get everybody known. So I'm going to start around the clock. Phil, tell everybody about your show, where you could find them, etc.
You guys can find me at The Unfiltered Truth on YouTube. It's on Spotify. And I think I'm on Telemundo sometimes, but you find me on if you guys want to follow me and talk football, you guys can also find me on Twitter, Phil Jones NFL. I will talk all 32 teams with you. I handle Raiders. I will talk all 32. I do not care. I love the game. I love to talk with you guys. I like to interview NFL players. Thank God I'm NFL credentialed, so I can go around and just, hey, this fan wants to know this. They want to know that. I like to share it with each and every one of you.
JB.
Dre, you're next.
No, we're going to.
Oh, me next?
Yeah. Dre's been quiet all day, so we got to get him going again.
The Hoods, ESPN, Crystal Streets, Golden Boy, Brooklyn, East New York representative. Sportsway with Dre Day podcast is the name. I'm on every podcast platform except Tidal. You can follow me on Instagram, Sportsway with Dre Day podcast. My personal page, Dre Day 1985. Nah, man, that's basically it. And again, the Hoods, ESPN Jeopardy is going down March 6th. We pay homage to Alex Trebek when I do these Jeopardy episodes, sports format, 6 categories, 5 questions. It goes on YouTube, which is my YouTube channel, Sports Baby Dre Day Podcast. And we have fun and we rock out.
JB, you're in the 3-hole. Let's go, bro.
What's going on? JB_ the program on Twitter. I got the program on the Believe Network, which is an interview show. I got Wayne Larrabee up right now, the Packers play-by-play guy. Great Super Bowl insight. Sideline Sports with John and Alex and Jake Malik. The NBA Carousel, which I'm producing and Megan Price hosts. And the NFL Carousel, which is hosted by Alex, where I covered the Chargers.
John.
Yeah, John, you're in the cleanup spot.
Yeah, I love me some baseball. Yeah, so I'm on Sideline Sports and NFL Carousel as well. You can find me on Podbean. Just search Perch Sports. That was my old podcast, but I post our shows on there too. You can find us on YouTube for the Sideline Sports, basically any social media, and on Twitter, Blue Hawks 13. And then you can find me obviously on LinkedIn. Just search John Shear, and you'll find me on there. So yeah, that's about all it.
Alex Fleming, let's go.
Hey, y'all know I'm a humble guy, and I've been baby white clean for about 2 years. But when somebody tries to call me out, I have to remind people where I came from. So let me start it like this: Fantasy and Flavors, Truth Serum Football, Orlando Magic, Raptor Report, Jacksonville Jaguar, Tampa Bay Bucks, and NFL writer and contributor, Skull King Sports with Ryan Skullrood and Scott Morganroth, Snowman in the Morning, Chris Pirtle and the Sports Junkies, The Mark Morses Show. You can now start hearing me from Chat and Spin Radio with the UK. Oh, and 806 Sports, Amarillo, Texas own. But I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I'm going to make a t-shirt for you just with that line on it. I'm not even joking. Creatively, I will. I'm gonna Alex, me and you need to talk after this because we gotta collaborate. No joke.
Hey, real quick, I don't know if any of you guys knew, but Chris Wesseling just passed away yesterday.
I'm not sure who he is, but condolences.
For NFL.com.
Oh yeah, I did. I think I did see something about that. I'm actually on NFL.com's website right now, actually.
Yeah, man, that's.
Phil, what's the name of your pod again? I'm trying to find it on Spotify.
The Unfiltered Truth. It's with a P.
It's a couple of them on here.
Hey guys, my apologies. I forgot all about the sports arena. Eric Wilson doing big things, big interviews. Jake Rongo, Michael Carriganudo, and Ruth Kajias. But my apologies. Like I said, I'm just forgetting shows.
Shout out to Eric. I wanted him on, but
shout out to Eric.
Ruth
he's just as busy as you is, so that is what it is.
No. You see, you have to understand. I like to think I'm Batman beating individuals down. Eric's burning down city blocks, bro. Don't mess with Eric. Don't mess with Eric.
Oh, I love Eric too. Eric get at you too. I love it.
All right, so we got down to the core left. Bearman, hit him up with your show stuff.
Well, they're all available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Radio Public, pretty much even YouTube, pretty much anywhere. Again, it's Cowboys Talk, Into the Net FC, and Rage Quit.
Darnell,
Ramley Talk. You know, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. All my podcasts is on all platforms. So you got Ramley Talk, you got Hoops Talk. Coming back around college football season, I'll be doing college football take. And I do some more shows, but I'm gonna let Ricky do that.
Well, I am the low man on the totem pole, only being the fact that I produce shows, build graphics, yada, 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 so on and so forth. Pipebomb Radio every week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturdays. Sometime found on every audio platform. Any Pain Train Pipebomb productions you will find on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Spreaker, and the whole bunch of shit. Thank you, gentlemen, for showing up. The guest list was amazing for this show.
Phil, what is it again?
The Unfiltered Truth. UNPHILTERED.
All right. I'm going to end this lovely show once again.
Thank everybody for joining in. Thank for all of that was watching us on Facebook and
thank you for having
YouTube, Twitch, Periscope. If you're listening on speaker, thank you for listening on that. Hit that heart button if you're listening on speaker.
Guys, just stick around. I'm just going to end the show, all right? Hey, did you like that show? Click the like button, follow, share, subscribe, share out all of our shows to your social media. Don't forget, check out paintrainpipebomb.threadless.com for quality merchandise at amazing prices. Tune in next time for Pipebomb Radio NYC, and we'll catch you on the flip side.